What up, it's Rico. Love Mr. Turn the Lights On, and you're checking out thefeaturepresentation.com.
What's going on? It's Vanessa Denny, and this is thefeaturepresentation.com, and Rico Love is with me.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Blessed. Happy to be here.
That's a good thing to hear.
I'm in lovely company, so I can't complain.
Aw, look at you. So, El Presidente,
Yeah.
the title of your mixtape, but why call yourself El Presidente?
El Presidente is because when I was coming up early in my career, I did a mixtape called The Inauguration. I used to call myself the President. And these guys who, some random nobody guys who I was cool with at one point.
Oh, shade?
You know how that goes. And they made a record called The Inauguration, called The Impeachment. After I did this this mixtape called The Inauguration. So it was basically a diss record to me, but these guys I was supposed to be cool with at one point. And they randomly, I never had an argument with these guys. We never fell out. It was never like a beef. Like one day we were together, hanging out. The next day they made a diss record to me. So obviously, niggas apologize a million times after that. But that was my fuel. So when I made it and I became, successful, I always used them as I always use these guys as my fuel to make it, because I always felt like y'all motherfuckers crossed me for nothing. So they was like, everybody has that bullseye. Right. Everybody has that target that they like, no matter what. Obviously, I don't have any hate towards anybody in the world. I don't even know how to hate, but it was always that thing. And El Presidente was my opportunity to say, I really made it. You know what I mean? So I'm still the president. They tried to impeach me, but they still where they are, and I'm where I'm at.
That's a hefty story.
So that's the premise behind El Presidente.
No wonder, because you're just talking greasy on it like El Presidente, and I'm just like, where is this coming from?
The unimpeachable, the unreachable.
So do the two gentlemen that dissed you, do they work in the field as well?
It's like three of them.
Three of them, yeah.
I think they work at Woolworths or some shit.
Woolworth doesn't even exist no more. You are shading so hard right now.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God, me and my mom used to go to Woolworth.
I would say who they are, but they got 30 followers. I don't want to get this I don't want to blow these niggas up.
Oh my God, that is way too funny.
Nah, but it's the hatred fueled me, It was crazy, because one thing about me, I don't bother anybody. I don't do anything wrong to anybody. So when some people disrespect me, I take it very personal, because I'm really a nice guy.
Okay. So I noticed on the mixtape you have To My Ex with Tiara Thomas on there, and it was also on your EP.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of reiterate that, because it's going to be it's probably going to be my next single. So I wanted to make sure I ended the mixtape off with it as a marketing strategy. I own my record company as well, so I kind of got to think of it from a CEO standpoint to be able to, all right, cool, I know we sold this on the EP, but this is going to be my next single, I want to make sure it stays fresh on people's minds. So the last song they hear on the EP is what we're giving up for the next single.
Okay, all right. So your label, do you have a deal with Interscope?
Yeah,
is it distribution?
A 50-50 joint venture.
Okay.
Interscope. And when I say 50-50 joint venture, it's a true deal partnership. Meaning, if I make $6, if we make $6, I get $3, they get $3. Equal partnership. So a true label deal. A lot of guys out here, they got imprint deals, they got production deals, and they say, I got my label deal, but I have a true 50-50 joint venture label.
Now, what about your publishing?
Publishing is a whole different story. That's nothing to do with the label.
Okay.
Deal.
Yeah. All right.
That's just, people use the word publishing because they just hear people say it. They were like, oh, publishing, it has nothing to do with the record company.
Okay, but do you have a separate publishing deal?
Oh, yeah.
Independent? What's that like?
It's awesome.
Why so vague? You own everything? Was it a battle to keep everything?
It made me a millionaire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For real. I'm not trying to even be on some stunting shit. That's just true.
All right, all right, you got it. I ain't even gonna mess with it no more. So I was looking through your catalog, and you were in the Mix soundtrack. You had
in the Mix. Yeah.
Yes, starring Usher.
I wrote most of that soundtrack.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's cool. That's my first big check. Well, I thought at the time was a big check because.
So how big was it if it was small looking back?
Can I tell a story real fast?
I would like to hear it.
So I was every quarter you get these royalty statements, and as a new act you look forward, you know exactly what day it comes and everything. So I had $7 to my name, and the only reason I had somewhere to live is because I had a record deal back in the day. This is around 05, but I had a record deal in 03. I signed to Usher through J Records. So I had this record deal, and I was the reason why I had somewhere to live is because I was smart. When I did my deal, I didn't want an advance. I said, just pay my rent. So that way, no matter what I do, I'm gonna have somewhere to live. So, but I had $7 in the bank at this point. You know, I have my first check I got in the music business was $36,000. I blew it in 2 weeks. So checks was coming, I'm blowing them. So I had $7 in the bank, and went to the grocery store, and my good friend of mine, Money, he was like, yo, we was living in Atlanta, and he was like, yo, we gotta get some groceries. I said, well, I got $7. If it goes over 7, I'm leaving. You're not gonna embarrass me. So we get up there and it's $6.39, and we got 2 more items. I walk straight out. Long story short, I'm saying this to say, I get up to the front to the register, and I'm about to after that I get home and they say, oh, your check came. I say, yo, if this check ain't good, I'm fucked. I need, I'm really fucked up right now. I need some money. I open up the check. Said 175. I'm like, yo, $175. I'm fucked. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm fucked up. And he comes back. He said, yo, nigga, this is $175,000. And I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. He's like, no, you recouped your deal because first song I ever wrote in my life was Throwback, which was on the Confessions album. So I did a pub deal and I recouped it off one song because the album sold so much. So the next check I got everything. Because you get a sync for doing soundtracks. I got everything in a sync. So
wait, explain what's a sync.
A sync is a set fee. When you do soundtracks, you don't get a royalty, you get a sync. This is the sync fee for us using the song. I did so many records on the soundtrack. So long story short, I got that check and it was $175, and I was really about to throw it in the garbage. Like I threw it on the bed. I'm like, fuck, I was about to cry. Literally. So he goes in there, he looks at it, he says, nigga.
Oh my goodness.
175,000, and at that time that was like, what the fuck? So you
just hopped over to the bank and you're like, well, let me catch this and go back to the grocery store.
Yeah,
get that Oscar Mayer
and bought some groceries.
Name brand stuff.
Yeah, a lot of shit. We ate steaks.
That was a really good story.
Yeah, man.
So starting off, was your intention to become an artist, or you were a songwriter and then you became an artist?
I started off as an artist. That's why when people like doing the artist thing, now I'm like, I feel like I always was there. Always in my mind. I never intended to come back to it though, honestly. I really thought it was cliche. I thought like, everybody does that, and I don't want to be corny like these niggas and shit. So I was like, I wasn't gonna do it. And then after I did my label deal and I signed Tiara Thomas as my first artist, it was crazy because...
Wait a minute, Tiara was your first artist? I thought Tiara Marie.
No, Tiara Thomas is the first artist on my label deal, Interscope.
Okay, through Interscope, but before Division 1, Tiara was...
Yeah, she was
Tiara Marie.
I had Tiara Marie signed to me, but that was a separate situation.
Okay.
But Tiara Thomas is the first artist I signed to the Interscope deal, and afterwards, randomly, companies was coming to me asking me to do a record. Like, just randomly. I didn't even put out music or anything like that. So then Jimmy Iovine calls me and flies me to L.A., and I'm in his house, and he says, yo, so I hear, because he hears everything. So I hear companies are trying to sign you. I'm like, yeah, I got a few offers, but, we'll see. He says, are you fucking stupid? I just gave you a label deal and gave you all this money. Why the fuck would you sign to somebody else? Why don't you sign yourself and own your own shit? So if Jimmy Iovine tells you to sign yourself, I think you should do it. Okay. So I ended up doing it and signed myself. So a lot of times I'm in a power position to where not only do I control and dictate my entire career and everything that goes on with me musically, but I own it and I get the money as an artist and the money as an executive. So it's cool. Even though I don't do it for the money. I mean, I'm a businessman and I want to make sure I make the most money off what I do, but I really love it. I do it for the passion, but it's cool to be able to take ownership in something you have. I think the creative control is worth more than any money though.
There's a song on your mixtape, El Presidente, where you say weekend in Barneys. Do you still feel comfortable shopping in Barneys even though they had the whole racial profiling issue?
I shop in Barneys. I shopped in Barneys yesterday.
Okay. The
thing about it is racial is everywhere. Remember, it was like, oh, don't go to Church's Chicken because the Ku Klux Klan member owns it. Well, what if I told you that a lot of people who don't like black people own a lot of shit? We can't stop living life. At the end of the day, you're gonna put yourself in a box and not shop with somebody or do business with people who don't like black people. Let me tell you something. We're on record companies, and the guys that we don't see, not the Jimmy Iovines, the guys we don't see, they own the companies for real. I'm sure they don't like black people too.
So you think everyone was just pretty much overreacting? I
think that hatred is everywhere, and if we stop doing business with people because we think they're prejudiced, then we won't do business with anybody. if we don't go and buy to this grocery store because they're racist, then it's so many places that if you really understood how much racism really exists and how, you know, how obvious it is and how low key it is, at the end of the day, it's everywhere. And we can't fault Jay-Z. What, we gonna get mad at Hov and say, yo, he did a deal with them? And I don't believe that, we don't know all of the facts and everything, so there's a lot going on. I don't really want to put myself in a position where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this because this person said this. I shopped in Barneys for a lot of times, and I never had problems.
Okay.
I spent $100,000 in Barneys at one time, and in jogging pants and sweats, nobody arrested me and said, whose card are you using?
Okay.
So I can only speak for me. I buy brands. They happen to sell those brands, and I like them. Do I believe that racism is wrong? Yes, but racism is everywhere. If I boycott everything that I think is racism, I promise you, I think a lot of people are racist. I wouldn't be able to go outside.
So does that inspire you to start your own business by any chance, like clothing, or you just don't?
Hatred is always going to drive you to be better because you want to conquer it. So the ignorance in the world is always, think about it, name my shit El Presidente because of this hatred that fueled me to be better than that. But at the end of the day, I want to be great. I want to own things, but I don't let that be the only thing that's driving me. I want to feed my family. I want to make a legacy. I want to be the greatest whoever has done it, and that drives me more than the hatred. And I mean, and people will see this and say, "Oh, he don't give a fuck about racism." And this, no, I'm saying that it's everywhere. And I'm saying that you can't start boycotting everything. If we put our energy towards, why don't we boycott? Nobody want to boycott the pawn shops in every corner in the neighborhood that's fucking selling guns to kids. Nobody want to boycott the liquor stores that's making us kill each other and getting us drunk in the neighborhood. They got no libraries in the city, 100 liquor stores. We not boycotting them. But Barneys does some shit, and we like, oh, we want to boycott them. Police fuck with us every day. We kiss their ass. So everybody got to put shit in perspective. We can't come together and try to be pro-black when it's convenient. You got to be that way all the time. You got to put in every aspect of life. Now, if you do that, then I can respect it. But the fact that they don't, you're just really full of shit.
Oh, the fact that everyone isn't in an uproar over
the things that go on. Nobody's making a stand about the kids in Chicago killing each other every day. Nobody's out there saying, let's boycott the people who making these guns and selling these guns to these kids. Not saying that I believe that guns should be banned either, because if you ban guns, then you got only the criminals are gonna have them. Who that's a criminal that got a legal gun. So now if you tell people, oh yeah, get rid of your guns, now the only people that's gonna give their guns away is law-abiding citizens. The criminals are like, bet, I know they don't have guns. But at the end of the day, it's a whole other subject. What I'm trying to say is that racism is everywhere, and we can't be trying to pinpoint certain things to where we're gonna stop dealing with them because of this or this and that. I like Barneys for what they do for me. Do I know the people who own Barneys? I have no clue who they are. And my friends with them know. I love the brands and I like to shop, and that's what I'm into. I'm sure so many things that you buy is some guy who owns it who probably wouldn't care to hang out with you.
Point taken. You got it. So another song of yours that had a line that stood out to me was on Shaba, and you said something along the lines of, put it on my seed, I'll never be down to zero again. Mm-hmm. What are some things that you have done to ensure financial stability?
Oh, I definitely, my son definitely has a trust fund.
Okay.
But I don't really think of that as, I don't believe in backup plans. I know what I told myself I was going to be. I know what God told me I was going to be. So I don't fear ever being broke again.
Okay. So you're not heavy into investments or stocks?
I invest in things that I know about, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you know?
I own some pieces of real estate, and I also signed 7 producers to my company who I developed, and I know how to make them hot. So when I want to sit down, they gotta do their thing and make money for me. But just also real estate, I bought some properties and stuff like that, and I'm starting a small level because I don't know about that. So as soon as I can educate myself in something, what I'm not into is investing in things just because somebody tells me to. I want to know and educate myself on something first so that I can know about it. One thing I do know is music, and I know how to make money in music. So I invest into something that I know and that I'm educated on, and I know how to my ins and outs and that type of thing. But I think it's important to invest because you just want to, make a profit. But I don't believe in backup plans. I don't believe in being fearful and saying just in case and what if. I don't believe in that.
Okay.
Especially when you know what God promised you.
Okay. So you go to church every Sunday?
No.
Okay. But you're religious and spiritual.
I'm not religious. I don't believe in religion. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
But religion is something man-made. I don't even think the word religion is used one time in the Bible. Religion is something man-made to control. But I am a Christian.
Okay. Christ-like, striving to be Christ-like.
Absolutely.
So you also cover Ty Dolla $ign's Paranoid on El Presidente. So what did the song invoke in you the first time you heard it?
Yeah, I was in LA at a club. Me and Trey Songz was hanging out and I heard it. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like the whole club was going crazy. And I was like, I gotta do this. I gotta do this record. And that's what made me start doing it as El Presidente. That's the first cover I did. I put it out as soon as I did it. And I was like, yo, that made me want to do the mixtape. You know what I mean? So it's just an amazing vibe. The energy of the song is dope. So I was like, I wanna cover that.
What do you think it is about the song that guys connect to? Because the first time I heard about the record, it was like 3 dudes telling me like, this song is so awesome, and I'm just like,
it's just the vibe. It's just the vibe, the energy of it, and how honest it is. You know.
Okay. So you guys just feel paranoid that girls are out to get you all the time?
No, I don't think everything got to be so literal. But I just thought it was a cool story that he was telling. And, maybe I'm just paranoid. I got 2 bitches in the club. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I just thought that was cool. I flipped it a different way, saying, I got 2 bitches in the club. They don't know about each other. But I'm thinking after enough drinks, we all can
have fun together, yeah. I heard that. I'm like, oh, he has a mission.
I think that's a cool outing.
Now your tagline, turn the lights off. How did
turn the lights on.
Turn the lights on, sorry.
So
How
I
did
can see it.
Oh, okay. You already started giving me the story, yeah.
Nah, Turn the Lights On came. I used to hang out in this club called Area in LA. It's called Greystone Manor now, but I used to hang out in this club in LA. A friend of mine, Mams Taylor, owned it, and they would play this song. One of my favorite bands is Pink Floyd, so they would play this song by Pink Floyd called The Wall, and all the lights would be off. So when I get to the part and they say, hey, teacher, leave those kids alone, all the lights would go on in the club. So I would say, turn the lights on to myself because I knew the lights were going to come on. So one day I was in the studio and I just started saying it on the records and it stuck. And then people would always like, yo, why the fuck you put that on the records? Because, when I wasn't popping. And then after I wrote the theme song for Sex and the City. So when you watch the movie Sex and the City and you hear Fergie, the first thing you hear in the movie is Fergie saying 1, 2, 3, turn the lights on. Mm-hmm. So after that, it's kind of like, everybody went to say it. Then Beyonce said it in Sweet Dreams, and then Usher and Daddy's Home. It was just like one of those things where you got enough hits, everybody gonna say it.
So, Tierra Marie, do you still work with her, or is everything...
It's like my little sister.
Okay.
Yeah, we still stay in contact. When she starts working on a project, if she needs a record for me, she'll get it.
Okay, but she's not signed
No, she's not signed to Division 1 anymore, but we're family. Our contract was up.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want to hold her up. She's doing other things, so it wasn't a situation where we were like, oh, I'm not going to... The contract, I had every contract has an expiration date. It went up and we didn't renew it, but she's my family, and I still believe she's a star.
Okay. Your song, They Don't Know. A lot of people kind of call it the side chick anthem. Was that the vision you had for it, or not so much?
Really, it's about discretion. It's tough out here, man. You gotta understand that we live in a social media world now, and there's no such thing as discretion anymore. Whether it's a side chick or a main chick or whatever. If I buy you a gift and then tomorrow there's a picture of the gift saying, "Oh, he bought me this," it's like, that's corny. Chill out. You're telling too much. It's too much information being given overall, and it's cool if they don't know. Even if we're both single, if we're dealing with each other, and me and you walk in the room and nobody know but us, that's sexy as hell. And I think we lost that. It's a lost art. You know what I mean? Discrepancy is a lost art. Now everybody wants to tell everything and show off everything. It's like chicks want to show off for other chicks. That's really what it's about. They want to shit on this chick and let them know, oh, I'm fucking with a rich nigga. Or I'm fucking with the hot guy. Or I'm with the basketball player. They don't know. Shut up. Like, keep this between us, and that's a lost art. And really, honestly, I use that as a metaphor, but I wrote the song about how a lot of people don't know I write a lot of the hit records. If you look at the video, I'm not even in the video. It's a young lady who represents all of these artists that I write for and produce records for, and how amazing and well kept she is, because these records are what keep people alive. But I'm not bitter at the fact that a lot of people don't know, because this relationship is between us. That's why I say keep between me and you. We cool, because they don't know. So it don't matter if you believe that this person wrote that song makes you buy it. I love that. I welcome that, because the people who do know, they don't have to know. Me and you know. The record company knows. The artist knows, and that's how we stay alive in this game.
Okay. So Discretion, was that something that you wanted to push forward on your EP?
Yeah, discreet luxury. Discreet, because the word discreet, when you spell it the way I spelled it, DISCRETE, it means apart from, away from. So it means a certain luxury that you have to really earn is a discreet luxury. Not private, but private. Not on the low, but you can't get here unless you worked hard to get to this certain level of luxury. And when discreet luxury was the setting, not the subject. So I didn't talk about, oh, I got all this bread, I got all this. No, this is the setting. I'm talking about things that happened to me as a result of being successful. The relationships I had with different women after I became successful, from the groupies to the side chicks to the main girls to the arguments to all of this type of thing. You know, you get in a situation where you can't even close your eyes around a girl. She'll take a picture of you sleep and send it to the blogs. So this type of expression of those things that happen to you when you're famous is different. So you got to talk about it, and that's just my view of it.
Okay. I like it. I like that whole concept and perspective. I'm gonna go back and listen now. Like, oh snap, he didn't even.
I was with Usher one time, and I saw a girl. I had to tell him, he's having a conversation. The girl was acting like she was on the phone. I saw the red light. She was recording him. She was videoing.
Oh my god!
And she kept, like, anytime he would move, she would do this. He did this. So I told him, and I couldn't believe it. I said, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like, people are that evil. What if this man was saying personal shit, but that's how evil society.
And he was talking to her?
She was having a conversation with somebody else, and she's acting like she's on the phone. But what if he wasn't talking about anything? But what if he was talking about his personal life or his, anything? And it's no more of that. It's no more discrepancy. So you in this world where you gotta live and survive and try to survive in a world where people just don't give a shit about you. And since you have money, they feel like, oh, I don't have to. You got money, it comes with it. Why you care? You rich. And that's how evil our society teaches people to be. So it's just certain levels of things you see when you become successful. Then this level is discreet luxury, and I feel like we should talk about it.
Okay. So on your upcoming album, are you going to be rapping a lot, or are you going to be singing only? Because you kind of bounce back and forth between both. I don't know.
Whatever I feel.
Okay.
Whatever I feel as far as the songs, or whatever I feel like it's calls for when I hear the track. I don't really, plan it out. When I go in the studio, I don't say, today I'm rapping. Nah, it's whatever I feel, and I like to incorporate a rhyme in everything I do. But some records don't have them. Some records don't have any singing at all, just all rap. Some records don't have, So it's all about how I feel.
Oh, and with the holidays coming up, how do you like to celebrate?
I like to just be with my son. I have a 3-year-old, so anywhere I'm with him, I just like to hang out. My family is weird because the difference between my parents is a divorce, and my dad lives here in New York, and my mother lives in Milwaukee. So I have to go figure out, going back and forth. But this year I think I'm gonna go see my mom for a little while. Okay. And then my dad's probably gonna come to Miami and hang out with me.
Okay. Do you have rituals that you do with your mom?
Man, we just eat.
Okay.
Just eat and have a good time.
All right, well, that's exciting. Thanks for chatting it up over here on the featurepresentation.com.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.